Isekai.
The Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 36, Purple-Clad Youth. The most supreme was the imperial power, but, more powerful than the imperial power were the commoners' mouths. Of course one could use iron, and bloody methods to suppress them down, but, till that day comes, the commoners dare not to speak nonsense, and words would only spread through jokes, and would not be a big offense. The imperial family of Ming-Chi was probably like this. Inwardly they had done so many filthy deeds, but, to the outside world, they still put on a farce of being devoted to the empire. They have no qualms to receive the aristocratic family's sacrifices and protection, but, in the end, still wanted to beat them down. Hearing Shen Miao's remarks, everyone started to gradually quieten down. Daughters were thinking of the glory of their ancestors. If they were from military lineage they would be moved. As for male students, as they were at the age when they were hot-blooded, they naturally worshipped heroes, since soldiers who fought on the battlefields would be admired wherever they went. But, some people were not so happy. The three princes of Ming-Chi that were present all coincidentally frowned. Others may not know, but, they knew what the imperial family's intention for the aristocratic families was. The Shen family was a tall tree that attracted the wind, and sooner or later will be eradicated by the emperor with some excuses. Due to the uncontrollable good reputation of the Shen family on the commoners, it would not be an overnight matter to bring them down. For Shen Miao to say such words, it seems to be mourning for the fallen soldiers, but, eulogizing the meritorious achievements, and put officers and soldiers on the stage where everyone was looking. If the imperial family did any shred of inappropriate, by virtue, they would be in the wrong. Were her actions intentional? Everyone looked up, and stayed silent after the young lady finished speaking. Her robes were slightly large, and made a fluttering sound as the cold wind blew past it, making her stature endlessly fragile. Most likely her thoughts had strayed off since she was an unmarried daughter. This time the reason she uncharacteristically came out onto the top position was that she was Shinzin's daughter, and it was just a coincidence that he spoke about the events of a battlefield. Prince Yu's of first-rank eyes followed closely with the purple-clad young lady, and after a moment he suddenly gave a profound smile. This Shen family's daughter is indeed very interesting. No one knew why, but, when Prince Yu said these words, Pei Ling and Fu Ziyu frowned at the same time as a bad premonition hinted in their hearts. Prince Yu heard it, and asked meaningfully, "Does royal uncle fancy that young lady from the Shen family?" According to the rumors, the young lady from the Shen family is an ignorant idiot, but, now it seems she is not. She is clever, eloquent, and looks not so bad. If there would be a royal sister-in-law. His laughter was extremely uncouth. That would be very interesting. Prince Jing thought further than his older blood brother. As of now, even if the imperial family was determined to suppress the Shen family, the Shen family had military power, and it was like an idiot carrying a treasure. If any of the princes acquired the Shen family's assistance, it would be a huge bargaining chip on the road to the throne. However, if Shen Miao married Prince Yu, since he had no more energy to fight for the highest position, it would be equivalent to placing the military power back to the imperial family, and perhaps the best method of not letting any prince covet after it. Thinking about this, Prince Jing nodded. The young lady of the Shen family is shrewd and creative. If royal uncle feels good, that would be understandable. Fu Ziyu's brows wrinkled much more. He naturally took into account what Prince Jing thought about. He knew that if Shen Miao were to marry into Prince Yu's residence, it would be 100 advantage, and no harm to him at all. First of all, he could free himself from Shen Miao's entanglement, and there would be one less joke about him. The second was that Shenzhen's military power was an extremely hot potato, and even if he intended to use it, he was afraid that it would ignite the emperor's suspicion. It would be better to be placed in Prince Yu's residence, and wait for an opportunity to use it. But he did not know why there was an annoying feeling in his heart, like it was not right to do it like that. Pei Lang worriedly looked at Shen Miao, who was coming down from the state. She leisurely walked down with a calm expression, as she most likely did not know that her destiny was already in the hands of these sons of the imperial family. He sighed in his heart. After all, they were teacher and student, but he was just a small and low-ranked teacher who was unable to change anything, and could only feel sorry for Shen Miao in his heart. Prince Yu waved his hands somewhat impatiently, and even though he did not seem necessarily happy, there was some ruthlessness in his smile. Royal nephew? Ben Wang does not necessarily not know what your intentions are. Prince Yu's residence cannot swallow such a big Buddha like the Shen family. His eyes landed on his crippled leg. But, young lady Shen is interesting, and it would not be bad to play with her. Su Mingfeng glanced over to this site. He was seated closer to Fu Ziyu and the rest, and looked as if he was seriously watching the situation on the stage, but there were some grievances in his heart. Even if Shen Miao was an idiot or stupid, if she was eyed by Prince Yu, everything would point to disaster. It would be fortunate if Shenzhen was in the Ding capital, but, unfortunately he would only return after the end of the year. Without her father or older brother to protect her, how would a young lady be able to compete with these vicious wolves? As if he had already expected what tragic ending would happen, Su Mingfeng sighed, and brought Su Minglang to Master Su before leaving the banquet area. Shen Miao was unaware of the changing situation at the male side of the banquet. Jings was very happy for Shen Miao, but it was Shen Yu who was finally unable to maintain a good expression, and left the banquet somewhat stiffly. After the female group of examinations, it was time for the male group to take their turn. There were already many young ladies who had left the banquet after taking the examinations. Feng Anning followed Shen Miao, and this previously proud young lady finally showed a convincing look to Shen Miao before saying, "What you did just now was good." "It was great," Shen Miao replied plainly. "You were also good." Most likely Feng Anning was thinking about receiving the first rank for the Ken category, as she said smilingly, "Time cannot defeat determination. I will go to the carriage to pick up something. Wait for me here." After Feng Anning left, Shen Miao walked to the middle of Biantang's plum blossom forest to wait for her. In this season, the plum blossoms had not yet flourished, and the trees were very lush. Guyu walked out from inside, and looked around before whispering, "Young lady," had already sent it to the young master of the historian advisor Jing by bribing the footboy from outside to switch it to ensure that it was secure. "Very good," Shen Miao said. Guyu was somewhat confused, and did not understand why her own young lady would do such a thing. There was no possibility of her young lady to be familiar with the young master of the historian advisor Jing. Just at the same time, one heard a chuckle from up above one's head. The three of them raised their heads, and saw that near the top of the branches there was a purple figure floating down, and fell in front of them. That purple-clad youth was so handsome that he did not look like a mortal. He folded his hands across his chest as he leaned against the trunk of the tree, and there was a smile, but not a smile on his lips, as his eyes brought out a chilly cold look that was like Ding Capital's winter night. It was Zi Jingxing.